Daniel Jones was one of the first, if not the first, of those defendants soon after they were arrested and charged to indicate that he was going to plead guilty. Now, over the past few weeks, I've had a number of letter exchanges with him. And some weeks ago, he told me that he was trying through his solicitor, to meet the police outside Belmarsh Prison and show them where he had hidden his part of the proceeds from the raid. But he says that so far he was ignored by the police and he couldn't really understand it. He said he was just simply trying to do the right thing. Now, he suggested that perhaps it was something to do with the high security in which he and other of the defendants are being kept at Belmarsh Prison. But he really didn't understand why the police appeared to be so reluctant to take him up on his offer. And there are rules and regulations for allowing prisoners to go out of prison, to do such things, to talk to the police, to show them potential evidence. Now, in a series of exchanges with me, he first said this, and this is a quote from his first letter: "I've instructed my solicitor to tell the police flying squad that I want to give back my share of the Hatton Garden burglary. They said it's in motion." He said in the same letter, "I now understand that the police said that the prison Belmarsh won't release me to the police. What a load of bull. The police can't want it back, as I'm the only person in the world to know where it is, deep down. I want to do the right thing and give it back." He continued in a similar vein, saying he really didn't understand what the objection was to taking him out of prison. In another extract from the same letter, he says this: "They are trying to make me look a bad person. I'm trying my best to put things right, and for some reason they don't want me to give it back." He then goes on to say again that he's puzzled, that he would have thought that making such an offer would be great news to the police. He goes on in the letter: "You would have thought the police would have jumped with joy, but for some reason, which I don't know, they are not that interested." He then goes on to tell me that he is aware that there are rules and regulations that permit prisoners to go out and talk to the police at any stage during their imprisonment. And he drew an analogy with Levi Belfield, notorious serial killer, who was taken out to show police certain evidence during his case. He goes on, "They took that sex killer Levi Belfour," he got the name wrong, Levi Belfield, a few years ago. "He showed the police where he killed those women. So there you go, Martin," he says, "a sex killer, and there's me, a 58-year-old burnt-out burglar. Maybe they think I'm going to get a hit squad to get me out. My God, how stupid." There's been some reaction today from Victoria Mackay, who is the chief executive of the London Diamond Bourse and represents many of those who lost property during this raid.
I think that justice has to run its course. That they would, they're going to want their items back. If their goods can be restored to them through protocol one way or another, that's got to be in the interest of the victims, and I'm sure that that's what they would like to see. They'd like to get their goods back into their possession.
Have you heard from the police at all, Martin?
Well, I put all this to Scotland Yard, and twice they've come back and said that they're not prepared to discuss an ongoing investigation. I spoke to the Ministry of Justice and they said, well, this really is a matter for Scotland Yard. So there's really no response there. The Ministry of Justice has said that, as I indicated earlier, that there are protocols which do allow prisoners to be taken out of prison in circumstances like this. Now, funnily enough, Kay, 2 days ago in a pre-trial hearing at Woolwich Crown Court, the prosecutor in this case said that, having indicated that something like £10 million of cash, jewellery and gems had been stolen in the raid last Easter, it was now thought by Scotland Yard that the figure might be as high as £20 million. But he also said that a substantial amount of what was stolen hadn't been recovered. My understanding is that that may be as much as £5 million worth.